Welcome to Body Box Throwdown 2020, the review.
Team Body Box all
Yep,
day.
yep. Team Body Box, and the minds behind the Throwdown.
Our first Throwdown.
Yeah, first time.
Very first Throwdown. Why did,
Exciting.
why did we decide to do a Throwdown?
Uh, I
Long time in the coming.
Yeah.
Long time in waiting.
it was something that pretty much we sat back and thought about. We always knew we wanted to throw a competition, not knowing if it was going to be online or in person. And then I guess when COVID kind of left us to do online.
Solidified that one for
Yeah,
us.
it's like, all right. So I think honestly it was a blessing doing an online comp first, because a lot of things that we didn't know was going to happen. The whole behind the scenes part of it. You know what I'm saying?
We
Like,
should film that one.
yeah, like judging and prepping for one. That was pretty tough.
Creating all the workouts.
Yeah, that was pretty tough. But it was good to know that there was a lane for us to do it online. So that's why I guess it was just in the making. It was time to do it.
Why was it for free?
Accessibility, to be honest. Trying to reach as many people as we can and not put too many restrictions on things to allow more and more people to actually join us.
So to give people a taste of Body Box and also to get a feel for a competition. So it kind of worked both ways.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I think when you see the word free, you always want to just click on the button.
You'll click twice.
Yeah, so it's like, that was
You
one
need
thing.
two.
And then another thing was, like he said, to really get around to a lot of people.
It discourages you when you find a comp is whatever, $20 or $50 or even $100, and you don't get what you put into the comp. So
I think the free also allowed this to be, for a lot of people, to be more fun. I mean, it was a test of your fitness, but it also allowed you to enjoy it because
it only
it
costs
wasn't
your body,
heavy. Yeah.
And
not
it's
your
like,
pockets.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, competing should always be fun, right? Like, when you pay for it, yeah, it has a little bit higher value because you paid for it.
Yeah.
But it should still be fun,
It should be.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, fun.
Okay, well, let's go into the workouts.
Okay. That was fun.
Let's talk about 20.1.
20.1.
Yep.
The shocker.
Yeah, it was. It was the first one, right? So
Yes.
let me remind you, it's like when me and Dennis sat here and we tested a lot of these workouts. I mean,
Everything you went through, we went through too.
yeah. So what? 20.1 was
More
Pull-ups.
times than you can imagine.
Yeah.
Pull-ups and jump rope.
pull-ups and jump rope, right? So 10 rounds. And at that moment, we did that in a way of saying, all right, so we did that in a way of saying, okay, 10 rounds, it could feel like a long time. So we had to make something fast. I remember doing a comp. It was 8 pull-ups. 8 pull-ups felt like 12. And if you're doing pull-ups, once you get to that number 10, you start to feel a little taxed. But if you could stay under that number 10, you find a placement of discomfort. Can you be comfortable in that discomfort? And that's where it was like, all right, let's go with 9. 9 has always been a number that has been used in a couple workouts.
Mm-hmm.
And then the double under number, or the jump rope number, 30 was always a number that we kind of said, all right, that's normal. 35. Let's make it a little
Just
tougher.
throw it off a little bit.
And
An odd number instead of an even number.
yeah, and then when we saw the number for the scale, it was 70 single unders. Now in 10 rounds, you're doing 700
It's a lot
jump
of
rope, right?
It's a lot. Can be done.
Right.
It was done.
And it was like
Several times over.
it was like the level of athletes today. They can do that with no problem, I think. So I think the number scheme ended up being a really good number scheme for a first workout. I like it as a first test.
It's a little wake up.
Yeah.
You weren't expecting.
And the times. I think the times of people going through it was shocking. So that was actually pretty cool. to not see so many under 10 minutes times. It went over 10. You know, and it would have been easy to throw a time cap on it, so we didn't.
Yeah.
Now, one of the first questions that generally come out when you're doing any type of competition is they want to say, how do I handle it? How do I break it down? That you can't tell when the competition is going on. But now that you're sitting back, for the people viewing this, what would have been some of the advice you gave?
Consistency in movement and movement standards would be like the biggest thing.
I think overall movement standards, people tend to not really pay a lot of attention to.
And that's one thing about us, we do know that. Working with him, you gain to realize that movement standard. Doing the standard, it's better to do it right.
And go a little slower if you have to.
Yeah, than pushing that max speed to try to get the rep done as fast as possible.
And still get a no rep.
Yeah, and get a no rep. Because then you waste so much more time having to do it
So much
over.
more time, more energy.
Yeah, and it's like, what do you gain out of that? And that's why I think a lot of people go wrong, where they try to go so fast. And that's one thing I was going to say. It's like,
explode.
Yeah, with this workout, I mean, let's think about it. 9 pull-ups. Now, if you've been doing this type of training for a while, 9 pull-ups isn't a lot. You can do 9 pull-ups all day without ever breaking it up. Now, for those people that can't sustain that quality of movement to do the repetitions over and over and over and keep it consistent, break it up.
Yeah.
So
smaller sets.
Yeah, smaller sets. Smaller sets always work with a short amount of rest. You know, it would go a long way. Because the jump rope is really where you spent most of your time in this workout.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't spend a lot of time on the pull-up bar. Yeah, well, scale.
Yeah.
See, scale was a thing where we realized, like, okay, that jump and pull-up, the movement standard in that was missed by so many people. Because the speed of that movement could get overwhelmingly fast.
Yeah, you can start, the mechanics of it goes out of the window real fast, where arms aren't being used, legs aren't being used, you're not...
Everything.
You're not locking out completely at the bottom.
Yeah, everything, man. It was crazy. It was wild to see that. To see the number of people that did it wrong. And to see how they were able to sustain that speed was impressive. You know, but to see the movement go wrong and then they lose the time. They lose all the work that they did. Yeah. All the effort. They lose it. If they would have just slowed down a smidgen, you might have actually been able to go faster and sustain a longer and a better time at the end of the day. But since you went fast, so much faster, even somebody counting your numbers might miss. They might miss your number. They might be counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and next thing you know, at the end of the day, you thought you did 9, but you only did 7 because you were going so fast they couldn't keep up with your count. So that's something to think about.
Well, it wasn't easy for the garage athlete in 20.1 either.
The stimulus
they
got different.
Handstand push-ups.
Yeah. Yep. That was fun. Yeah. Yeah. Handstand push-ups and wall walks. It was funny when we did this. When we tested it, he was like, "I gotta do wall walks."
Why?
And I said I had to do handstand push-ups. It seemed like for the RX athlete at that moment, it wasn't worse.
Yeah, no, it wasn't, man.
Like the scale athlete really had wait, was it wall? It wasn't wall.
No, it wasn't wall balls.
That was the second one. I'm sorry. It was
This was handstand push-ups and double unders, or.
Well, it was the interim push-up. What was the second movement for scaled? Was it hand release push-up?
The hand release.
That's what it was. It was hand release push-up. Okay, so yeah, still same different stimulus. So that first one, that wasn't so bad for scale. The hand release push-up, it was a slower movement. It kept you in a slower pace. You didn't have to really break it up.
No.
We made the movement standard
within.
Yeah, we made the movement standard a little hard because you couldn't just lay on the ground. You had to kind of keep it consistent. So if you had to rest, you had to kind of come back up and rest. So that made it a little fun to watch. The strategy behind that was just more of a push throughout all 90 push-ups. The handstand push-up part, well, depends on how good you are with it.
Yeah, man.
We had one girl that did it in her pretty much looked like her bedroom, and
Yes.
she was consistent.
Yep.
Every rep, just consistent, going up and down with the handstand push-up. Now, the girl that she went against, that came in first and second, the girl that ended up beating her, just moved a little faster. Her rest, though, she came down and her rest was a little shorter.
Mm-hmm.
That's what kept her in game. The quality of movement, it was fine. It wasn't as good as the other athlete, but the rest time was a lot longer there. So if she, like hey, just get more confident in kicking up and down. Get more confident. Shorter rest time. You got it all day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that I would say for the garage athlete, they kind of learned about themselves because they have more body weight struggles than weighted struggles. So yeah, that was a tough workout. 20.1 for the garage. That was good.
Now we threw in a scaled plus on that. Did anybody utilize that? Do you think they knew what it was about?
Scale plus is really relatively new.
Well, and it's also because of COVID, I would say. It was more of like, you can do it scaled. You might need to scale it down a little bit more. The scaling down a little bit more at that moment, I believe it was the jump rope to the jumping jacks.
Right.
So, I mean, jumping jacks, the thing about jumping jacks is you can't mess up. How do you no rep a jumping jack? So, that would be the scale plus version. Because
we can find a way.
yeah, right?
We can
Somebody
find a way.
can find a way.
I'm guaranteed.
But jump rope was just something that you can mess up. So the movement there was still tougher than jumping jacks. So but not everybody can have a jump rope, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's a piece of equipment.
Scale plus was pretty much.
If you couldn't get a
if you
jumper,
didn't have
yeah.
certain things, then we'll still give you the opportunity to participate using just yourself.
Yep. Yep. And let me say one thing about this garage athlete division before we keep going on, because you're gonna pretty much just see we talk about a few number of people. The garage athlete division was made mostly because of COVID. Because throughout this whole time of COVID, I found competitions to do because we couldn't go to a gym.
Yeah.
So I found a competition that allowed me to work out with no equipment really. So we knew we had to do that for other people because now lockdown hit again. So once lockdown hit again, we knew we had to open up a division for other people to do it. Now, we couldn't get the word out as fast as possible because it happened so fast. We were already unrolling, right?
Yeah.
So when that happened, we just kind of, off the back of whim, it was like we have to open up another division for other people to join. And we wish more people were able to join into this division because I honestly do believe the garage division could have been a little harder, especially in the beginning, first two workouts, than the other two. Than the other division, the regular RX and scale. I think garage was actually tough. And it's good that we actually have it, and I want to hopefully be able to push it so people can join in on more of that kind of body weight workout. Even if you have the equipment, hey, you need to do these because this is like the extra stuff you're missing.
Basically, in regards to getting ready for a competition, I mean, we can continue to go, we'll do 20.2 next, but do you have any suggestions for how people prep?
I got one. Most importantly, try everything. Work on weaknesses before you start attacking your strengths. And really get to know yourself. As in, where is my fitness level? And how far can I push my fitness level? Because a lot of times we think we're somewhere and we discourage ourselves. And discouraging yourself puts you down. And we're in pretty much we're in the light of uplifting ourselves with fitness. So
yeah, I agree. Doing a comp, like the first thing you want to tell somebody is, like you said, know yourself. Know what you can do. Know what you can't do. See, the one thing about preparing the comp on our side is we get to try everything.
Yep.
We get to try a workout with a movement. All right, let's try it with another movement. All right, let's try it with another movement. All right, let's change the time. Let's see how fast we can move in this way. So we're able to test ourselves, testing these workouts out and knowing what these movements will do to us. Now, if we present you with a workout and you say, "Oh, that combination, it looks fine," but then you go through the workout and it hits you a totally different way you thought.
Smack like nobody smacked.
No, hey man, that's a weakness for you. And how often will you work on it? Because the movements might not be a weakness, but the combination of movements might be the weakness. And that's where
transitioning.
That's where we make it a difference.
Whether
that's
you're out of breath before one, whether your heart is blowing up before one.
You gotta know. You gotta know when these things are gonna happen. You know, and the only way you're gonna do that is by training it before comp gets there. Don't wait till a comp hits you to find out what your weaknesses are. You're gonna always find out a weakness. You're gonna always find one. Don't wait for a comp to tell you you got 6 weaknesses that you need to work on before the next one.
And how does the mental piece play into it?
Where's your pain cave? How much are you willing to endure? Mentally, physically, emotionally. I cried at one point, not gonna lie. In practice, you know.
Mentally, I would say this, and I solely really believe in the mental game has to be really strong. Not to say that the people that don't have a strong mental game in the beginning, it can't get stronger through training, because it definitely can. Putting yourselves in this situation of, hey, I never done a comp before.
Make yourself uncomfortable.
Yeah, go through a comp.
Sign up. Teacher of anything else.
We had a few people that never done a comp sign up to this one, and for this to be your first comp, it's our first comp, but we not knew the programming. So this to be your first comp, and you go through it, and you finished, and you went through it.
Yeah, man.
That's a pat on your back, man. Because not for nothing, you went through stuff that most people buckled. Most people wouldn't want to do this. And
can't count on one hand how many people come in for one workout and never come
back. They never want to do it again, and you hear that story a lot.
You weren't expecting that. You weren't expecting to actually really push yourself.
So the mental game, you have to. If it's strong, you'll be okay. If it's not strong, use these moments to help it get stronger. Use this as training tools for your mind. Your mind is it's the strongest muscle that you're gonna have. It's the one that's going to get you through the workouts the most.
It will stop you before anything else.
But it will also stop you. For real. It would shut you down. Your mind will tell you, I don't want to do this no more. When you can. And you will stop. We've seen it. We've seen it through video. When we know you guys...
When you have enough breath to tell me I can't, guess what? You can.
Yeah, you can. Because you're not pushing it that much. And this is where the mental comes in.
It's true.
Okay, let's talk about 20.2.
20.2. Alright, 20.2. Alright, so that was that was the wall climb on for the scale. Okay.
The bar. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. So thrusters toes to bar.
Bar facing burpees.
And bar facing burpees.
And RX. And then you go immediately into squat clean.
Right, and then the squat clean for the 1 rep max.
The 2-part workout.
Right, that was a 2-part workout.
Devastation.
That one was fun. That one was
That was actually fun to watch. It really was.
Yeah, it was different from the first workout. The stimulus, the ones we knew. Okay, if you came in first, the first one. Let's see if you could come in first, the second one. It was meant for 2 different type of athletes.
Yeah.
Those 2 workouts. More for the RX and scaled athletes, I would say. It was meant differently. The thruster weight wasn't a hard weight. I don't believe. I want to say it was tough. It could get overwhelming after a while, even with it just being 4 reps. It could. But the toes to bar, that number changed quite a few times. 8. It was either going to be 6 reps or 8 reps. We felt like the 6 reps everybody can hold on, and if we already given you a movement to hold on to with the 6, let's make the 8 a little tougher, but still able to hold on. Yeah, you were still able to hold on there, and then the 12 bar facing burpees. How would you attack that? We had, it was different. 2 different styles. We had people that attacked it, and we had people that pulled off the gas a little bit when they got to that movement to try to, I guess, sustain the 4 and the 8 in the first part, of the workout. So that was fun to watch. I know it was only 8 minutes, so that was cool. I honestly think
had me on the edge of my seat screaming.
Yeah, and I honestly thought we were really going to get some really, really, really outrageous scores, but I think a lot of people were anticipating the squat clean and the power clean part. They really wanted to give it a lot of effort there. So, and we gave you way more than enough time to do that.
Shout out to everybody making their PRs.
Yeah, all the PRs, that was cool. You know, that was awesome. People that were surprised that they couldn't even lift that heavy after being fatigued.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in 8 minutes, it can fatigue you quick. You know, so that was cool, man. Shout out to everybody that did good on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the garage side.
side.
All right. The garage side, right? It was fun. Like this is where I was going.
I swear to you, dog, everything. I'd rather do burpees than squat jumps. I'm weird like that. I don't know why.
Oh, for the 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, for the last part?
For the last part of that, but I just remember that. I was like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to do burpees.
So we had broad jumps for the 7 minute part. We had broad jumps for RX, and we had the squat jumps for scale.
Mm-hmm.
That was something to see. We did. I mean, it was kind of like a, ooh, are you sure we want to do this? Because 7 minutes of one movement in that way for as many reps as possible.
Damn near torture.
Yeah, that's torture for the person that have to judge it. That's torture for the person that have to doing it. Yeah, and counting it was tough. It was really tough, man. It was like, but it actually came out really well. It actually came out a lot better than I thought. And then from the first workout, we had handstand push-ups.
Mm-hmm.
Second workout, we did wall climbs. So we turned you around, you know, on that wall. So one way you're doing handstand push-ups this way.
Mm-hmm.
Second time, you're going to have to walk your way up the wall and face it the opposite way. That was cool to see. People go through that. They really wasn't liking that movement too much. I didn't like it either during testing.
Yeah.
I didn't like the wall climbs at all.
No, sir.
But that's something I know now I got to really work on.
It's almost like an awkward, like if you're not really used to it, it's like
It's really awkward. Yeah, it could become really awkward. And
getting close to that wall is like, oh, I'm not gonna come off. And if I do come off, I'm not coming off the way I came up.
yeah,
You know?
it's gonna be this side.
Yeah.
Now, I know it's a little hard to probably remember, but you could see then the different athletes start to realize and recognize their strengths. You know, maybe where in 20.1 they were strong, 20.2 showed.
And it mostly showed the ones that love to lift heavy. It showed that. The ones that love the barbell. You know, we didn't give you a barbell in the first one. We made you work with your body in a jump rope. Mm-hmm. Where the second one, we gave you a barbell. And we still made you work with your body. You know, so the workouts there was just, that's why I said it was going to hit a different thing where the athletes changed. We saw these athletes shine today. Well, can these same athletes that shined in 20.1, will they shine in 20.2?
The workouts were never meant for a specific kind of athlete to dominate them all.
Yeah, because that can easily happen with depending on the movements you pick. You know, you can really cater to one type of athlete throughout the whole entire competition. And, you know, we see that sometimes. That a competition can have, four workouts back to back to back to back. And the shorter athlete always wins. Well, that's why I think early in the competition, you should separate the fields both times. Have one team go up high, like have one type of athlete go up really high here. You see a whole bunch of like short athletes here. Well, then we got to get some of these guys to shine. But we need to do that early in the comp. You know, let both guys shine and get that out the way. And let's find a way we can make it even the rest of the way out.
Was there any movement within this one that you found they were missing the movement standard?
This one?
On this particular workout or in general this comp?
In this particular workout, 20.2.
As far as the hanging knee raises, the toes to bar, no. Sit-ups, no.
Okay.
The thruster, no. No. That was actually this one. I like we said. This one was enjoyable. 2 was really enjoyable.
Let's go on then to 20.3.
20.3.
What was that one? Oh, the wall ball one. That was the wall ball one.
That was the wall ball one.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Yeah, this one.
Oh Lord.
This one's everybody's favorite. And I'm saying that with a good smile on my face. Everybody loved this one.
Lord.
Like I said, yeah, this was to bring out. This was to make it even. This was to make the leaderboard a little bit more even here.
This was to, if you thought you were gonna go fast, we were gonna try to slow you down a little bit.
Yeah, and this one actually almost got changed right at the last minute. This one almost didn't make the same way. We were definitely saying, okay, are we doing too many burpees?
Yes, we know we did burpees back to back. I get you, but they were two different kinds of burpees, two different stimuluses, two different speeds.
Yeah, and that was the
Two
ultimate.
different standards.
That was the ultimate, end goal thing. It was like, it is the same movement, but it's going to hit you different. And we could have did something else, but again, COVID took away a couple of movements.
Yeah.
Took away a couple of things where we were saying, well, that would have definitely worked. But did the burpee work? Yes. And then it wasn't your regular burpee; it was a double jump lateral burpee.
Mm-hmm.
That became
something
a thing
that no one does.
Yeah,
to be
I mean,
honest.
look at the time difference. Like the time difference, we went from somebody finishing low 12s maybe 13. I can't remember exactly, but I know this top time was close to 35 minutes, 40 minutes, and we didn't put a time cap on that workout because we didn't expect that. We didn't expect it, but it was good to see that happen. It was good to see that even if you pace this one, even if you really take your foot off the gas pedal, it will hurt.
It will creep up on you.
Yeah, and then the rep count. The rep count, you went down. So you go, 42, 21, 30, 15, 18, 9. And then you go back up. You know what I'm saying? So the movement itself, and it's just two movements, which I think the best part of the sport, put two movements
together and just go.
Yeah. Test yourself. So yeah, that one was fun. And then
well, another side note, the burpees in this one were supposed to be some kind of machine. So we were gonna do either an assault bike or a row machine, a ski urge, but to touch back to the whole accessibility and everyone being able to participate, we know not everybody has a rower, not everybody has a bike.
Yeah.
Look, not everybody had wall balls. Because we had some guys that bought wall balls for the first time.
Yep.
Yeah.
You get me?
And I mean, they were even lucky to get it with COVID. Like, it was hard to get
that
equipment.
Was amazing in itself.
So yeah, it was good to see that they were able to, open up fresh wall balls and get right into it.
Just know machines are coming.
Yeah, we would love to throw a machine into this workout. That's what it would have been fun to have a machine.
21 pounds.
Yeah, but it wasn't able to happen because of the situation we're in.
I think in looking at the scores here, RX male, the winner was 15:59. Third place was 17:23. So
it was an amazing time. I mean, those were good times, man. Those are really, really good times. And the one thing I do know is that the tempo of those burpees that people were going through, the different tempos, that was something. Now, this was one of those workouts though, where the movement standard became an issue.
Yes.
This is one of those workouts where that jumping over a dumbbell, since the dumbbell is
double jump lateral.
Yeah, I mean,
burpee.
we had it in every single way where it could have been wrong. We saw it in all different ways, where you got the double jump going on. And then you do a lateral burpee where then you had people, we said jump over the dumbbell, where they're jumping behind the dumbbell, or they're jumping around the dumbbell. Some people had two dumbbells. Where it's like
some would jump over and then walk around the back.
Yeah. And it's like, you have to understand, at that point, we can see where your foot lands. You got to understand, that makes it so much easier for you if your foot is not landing where it should land. It's like, if you're sitting there, and you're jumping over a dumbbell, and you're doing it exactly the way you're supposed to do it, compared to a person that jumps over with one foot and then steps around with the other foot, I'm gonna tell you right now, that stimulus is different.
Yeah.
Even if it's a little bit of a movement different. And that's one thing that I know as an athlete is hard to understand that sometimes. If you're doing the movement, it's hard to say, that's definitely a different thing, but it is. I mean, the timing is also different. The ones that didn't jump over twice, Yeah, you guys had a better time. But we had, and the penalty that we had to give, we was trying to be very reasonable about our penalty count. We weren't trying to over penalize people. We've been in competition where we get over penalized for something.
Mm-hmm.
We understand it's not fair. You know, so in workout 1, you got a penalty. We try to really keep that penalty minimal. Okay, it's the first workout. We understand the second workout, the penalty got a little bit more, but we try to keep it minimal. Now that workout, we didn't get that many penalties. It wasn't that many. The third workout, now you're deeper in the competition.
As the bodies were sore.
Now it's like you gotta watch every step you make. You gotta make sure that you're doing it the way we wrote it out on paper, the way we showed you in a standard video. You have to kind of watch the way you move, because if you don't, the penalty that's gonna come out, it's gonna feel like a big punch in the stomach. You know, so that's where it's like, all right, that's where it started. This is where it all starts.
And you do it one time, then you tend to do it throughout the rest of. Once you start it, out the rest of it, and that makes the penalty even more of a punch.
A lot of people will not break their movement standard even if they're doing it wrong, because you're already in the mentality. I'm going.
Yeah.
Rather than take that 1 second to really, okay, I'm going.
Yeah, and it's like, put it like this. If somebody tells you no rep, best thing for you to do is stop for a second, or fix. If you kind of know why you're getting no rep, fix it immediately and keep going. If you don't understand why you're getting no rep, and you heard no rep and you don't understand why, stop. What am I doing wrong? If they tell you, then keep moving. Fix it. If you doing it, and this is also to the judge that's counting, if you call no rep, you can't keep the number going. You gotta take them away. You gotta take that number away from them. What you're doing to that athlete is you're not giving them a standard to follow. They're gonna keep going thinking that I'm okay. Even if you said no rep. Now it's okay now. But they didn't change. The same thing happened. Stop them. Hey, fix it. You know, we didn't get to really see a lot of, and we would have loved for coaches to jump in and say, hey, fix it. Fix it. We are that type of competition where we praise that. Fix it. We want to hear the person in the back scream. If you're going to scream and tell them, go, 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 also tell them, fix. You know, and
lock
count.
Out.
And stop the count. Stop the count. Help them.
Pull elbows.
It's better if you help them than us penalize that.
Yeah.
The penalty is so much worse, regardless.
It never hurts to do an extra rep or two. I ain't going to lie.
Yeah. Save yourself sometimes.
Let's say, I don't know if I hit 20. Do 22, 23, just in case. Those little things, they'll help you from a no rep, help you from a lot.
So in something like this, you would say, before you even start the video, doing the workout, you need to set and definitely, or on any of them, set and go through each movement standard.
Right.
Yeah.
For the movements that you're going to have to perform.
Right. Watch videos, man. Yeah. Watch videos. Watch how the athletes do it.
It's how we educated ourselves, to be honest.
Another thing about the wall ball. If you have a hard time hitting parallel every time, put something behind you.
A target. Wall ball.
Put something behind you. The one thing that your coach could do for you or somebody else can do for you is tell them if you're sitting down too long on that target. But it's an easy tap and go up. Tap and go up. See,
ball is good.
That used to be a thing that coaches used to do for clients. Now, it's kind of missed.
Yeah.
They kind of don't do it no more. They kind of just say, okay, just make sure you go down low enough.
This is your range of motion.
Well, some people don't know how low is low.
So,
You know, they don't know.
They don't know how low they can actually go.
Yeah. You got to train it. So even in competitions, if you're scaled, which most of the time you would be if you couldn't go parallel, you would be scaled. Have a target, man. Give yourself a little bit of a chance to not get no rep. And then ask the competition if it's okay.
Inches.
You know, like you gotta, and we tried to save some people with that. We told a coach or two, hey, make sure your athletes have a target to hit their butt on. They still didn't use it. So at that point, we're forced
to no rep.
To no rep it. And when we no rep it, I mean, like,
it hurts me as much as it hurts you.
Yeah, it don't feel good to no rep you. It don't feel good.
Taking nothing from anybody. But I can't give you something that I didn't give somebody else. Or technically something you didn't actually work for.
Keep it fair.
Okay. And for the last, 20.4.
Okay, confession. In practice, I never finished.
Yeah. Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah, he didn't finish this one.
No.
And he did it the scale version. He didn't finish this one.
Yeah.
I had fun with this one.
I had one
I
dumbbell.
really did enjoy this one.
Oh, I hate this man on this workout.
Yeah, this one
Go ahead.
was this one was fully my idea. This one was just fully my creation, and I honestly will say the reason why. I've been in a lot of competitions, and I think the people that put this competition together expect us to be elite athletes. And if you don't have now one elite athlete in your comp as a host, I don't think your workout should favor an elite athlete. You shouldn't be giving the athletes that want to become them those workouts. Help them become them.
Mm-hmm.
So to have a 50-pound dumbbell in your snatches, and it's two 50-pound dumbbells. All right, that's a little excessive, I think. I think for all of us, where if we're not on that level, we shouldn't be doing that. If we're not a regional athlete, a CrossFit Games athlete, if you're not winning at Wadapalooza, if you're not a stamp somewhere in this sport, I don't think you should be doing that in a competition form. Now, in training, yeah, that's how you're gonna get better. That's how you're gonna get stronger.
To the wall.
Yeah, try it out. Get better with the movement. Really figure it out. But a 35-pound dumbbell pair for a double dumbbell snatch, I think that's very, very on the same table as what the RX male should be using.
Yeah.
Because if I go to you and I say, hey, RX male guy, can you beat this elite woman? Can you beat her in a workout?
No, I cannot.
If we give you the same amount of weight and the same rep count and everything, can you beat her? And if he doesn't, then what makes you think he should be doing 50s? Right?
It's true.
So give him 35s. And I bet you a lot of people they'll never see that in a male side. Two 35-pound dumbbell snatches.
And
let's see how you do with
in
it.
there. Like, oh, they're just 35s.
You know, yeah. And that's what a lot of people did that. I did that at first. When I first programmed it, I was like, this is 35s, I got this. A single dumbbell 35, I got it all day. Well, it was different with two.
Double game.
It was different with two. I realized I had to hold it different. You know, that all came into play. So this workout was it was a fun one to program, and it was a great one, I think, to see through. The outcome of it wasn't what I thought it should be, because I guess the movement standard, and I'm going to say this because I'm going to talk about I'm going to be the outside person, right? You programmed this. Well, guess what you did? You didn't make it easy for us to distinguish the RX movement standard and the scale movement standard. I don't feel like you made that easy enough. Well, we did. And that's the part where I feel like was missed because the most important thing that you should do as an athlete is read your rules.
Mm-hmm.
As a coach, tell your athletes what's the rules. I'm going to be honest. It was two movements. For the movements to get missed in the standard, you didn't read. You didn't
watch the
read.
video either.
You didn't watch the video. You didn't read. You didn't really cover all grounds to get this right. And we didn't make it up. We used the movement standards that was used in
across the board, yeah.
And there was competitions just a little while ago that they had this standard. This is a brand new standard to some. So just read the standard, because now we just introduced you to what is going to happen in the future.
In the future to every other comp.
So don't think that we did something to take you out and make you less fortunate in this movement, because the dumbbell snatch is a very fun movement. Everybody loves the dumbbell snatch until you put a standard on it.
To it, yeah.
And that's when it becomes a thing.
The movement that you were seeing was generally off how?
Okay,
so the standard is for scaled athletes.
Yeah, it was the dumbbell, right?
The dumbbells.
The dumbbell.
Both ends of the dumbbell touch the ground. The standard for the RX were that both ends of either dumbbell you had in your hand touch the ground. So that's why both ends had to touch. It was
right.
two and two.
And it's like one dumbbell of each one on the RX had to touch. So that's two heads. The two heads on the dumbbell it was just one dumbbell. You had to make both heads touch. Now, we actually were okay with it teeter-tottering, hitting the ground.
Because one touched and the other touched.
Yeah,
so
we
it
gave
touched.
you that. But I don't think other competitions that's on a bigger level than us, where you should be trying to say, I would like to venture into there to see where I level up at. Well, guess what? They ain't gonna let you teeter-totter. You're gonna have to let them touch at the same time and bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
So we weren't too strict, and we understood that. We also understood that a round dumbbell compared to a hex dumbbell
There's different heights.
is different heights. It's going to bounce different. It's going to react different. You get to roll it. You know, with the hex, you can't really roll it too much. But we didn't penalize you for that. We didn't penalize. We said no bouncing, no banging. Well, with a round one, you have more of a chance of banging and bouncing without you knowing.
Mm-hmm.
You might not try, but it will happen. It's going to hit the ground faster. So we let that go. But we couldn't let go of the fact that you were still letting one head touch.
Yeah.
That one head touching, it changed the game of the speed.
Mm-hmm.
It changed the fact that you can hold on to that dumbbell a little longer now because you're able to stand up a little higher. Your lower back ain't taking much form. Your legs are a little bit out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Your hip drive is a little lessened. You can muscle it, especially with the weight we gave you. We gave you the 135-pound dumbbell for men, the 20-pound dumbbell for women. So it's not like we made you think about the weight in a way. You thought about running through this workout because the box really became the workout. The box step overs, with the dumbbell, that became the workout. The dumbbell was supposed to be the fun part. Well, you missed it because you didn't do it right. So now it's not fun because your score says otherwise. And that's where we know. That's where this workout was like, it's not coming out the way we planned because of that movement alone.
Mm-hmm. Well, and what about the step overs?
The step overs were cool. The step overs were actually cool. That saved a lot of scores. That saved your time in a lot of ways, right? Mm-hmm. Because it was only 20. You had the dumbbells. There's not a lot of room to mess up there. It wasn't because
our taller athletes at some point or another would step completely over the box, which was like
1 foot would go over, and that was a no rep there,
right? Because both feet had to touch the top of the box.
On top of the box, and then
so I mean, but for the scaled athletes,
the hand on the body
was a few times happening, but that happened in the dumbbell too. So if we saw that happen in the dumbbell, you kind of feel it coming on in the box, but depending on how you held the dumbbell, it kind of restricted you from touching anywhere on your body. You know, a lot of people that held it on the back of their neck had a better chance of not touching their body because they had both hands up here. The ones that had that dumbbell down here, this hand would be free, might touch.
Yeah, at one point.
You know, and it's like, that's a standard in a movement that we have to be strict with. On the dumbbell, if your hand is on your leg for the dumbbell snatch, well, guess what? That helps you a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, it does.
Because you have a brace point.
Yeah,
you push off from.
You pushing. You're having an extra. But in the standards of other comps, they don't let you do that. So we didn't go off the rocker too much with the standards. Yeah. You know, we just try to make it a little even for everybody in a way. And I think that's where it became a misgame because it wasn't even anymore. Because now we have to just penalize you. You know, and it became a thing where it's like, man, I know
that's a lot of push.
It's the last workout. You ain't trying to do it again. You know, unless you really feel like you have to. And this was the one where we said, send it. I mean, we put a time cap on this one. So you might not finish. And the ones that didn't finish, we knew you weren't going to do it again. Because you felt that long draft. But we had one guy that did it 4 times.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? And he had it. This video messed up a couple times, but he still pushed it to get that many reps in. In a matter of days.
Yes.
And to do better every time almost.
Yeah, man.
Good job, bro. Because that's what this last workout was for. It was meant to be that way. But the ones that didn't finish, the ones that felt it automatically, the ones that said, "Oh, nope, this took my heart. I don't like this one." They ain't even try to do it again. And that's where we like, yo, you missed it. You missed out.
I will say something as well, like if a workout comes out on Thursday, even if you don't do it on Thursday, practice the movements on Thursday.
Yep.
Know what it is that you're gonna get into on Saturday or on Sunday, whenever you're gonna do your workout.
Yep.
But practice it at least. Give it a shot, give it an attempt. So that you know, okay, maybe I gotta work on this. Maybe I'm not hitting standards. And take that same moment that you're practicing to read your standards. It'll help you out exponentially.
That's probably a good point for all competitions, regardless of the workout, is when you get it,
Mm-hmm. Try it.
monitor yourself, right, in regards to how you're doing the movement.
Mm-hmm.
Give yourself a test record. See what you're
Yeah.
doing. See how it stands. And go from there.
For real.
So, but I think in regards to what do we want to say to everybody who, stuck it out. We actually didn't really have a lot drop off from
From whoever-
20.1 through 4. Some maybe had to come out because of
Yes.
lockdown.
Little side note there. A lot more competitors would have been competing, but due to countries like lockdowns, people weren't even allowed to, put out videos or.
Yeah, they had a hard time with that, man.
It's
Like
crazy.
it was really sad to see. For your health, I guess it was really good to
No, I
see
get
that
it.
that they
People,
locked you down
yeah.
and they put you in a place where you're safe. But it hurt, and it was so fast, man. It hurt to the point where
Yeah, like
we lost you. Like we couldn't even communicate with you, and that was really
200
bad.
plus or something like that.
It was 100 and some. It was definitely 100 plus, and then it started to kind of drop down, and then
It's like, what happened?
Yeah,
And then we started to find out that
yeah, when we had a group chat. That was one cool thing that we did. We opened up a little community chat room on Instagram and other social media for the competitors to talk throughout the weeks. They share things, they share notes, they talk about things. They got a chance to really get the whole community aspect from an online competition, and we never done that before. It never worked that way before. I never seen a lot of competitions do that.
where you have access to
the other
people
competitors
and the
that
other
you're going
competitors,
against, it's like
coaches, affiliates, everything.
how many people go online and see a name on the leaderboard and automatically start looking for that person? I think that always happens.
Yeah,
And
you want to see what they can do.
yeah, but if you're in a chat room with them,
You are
hey, it's pretty cool. I'm talking right to you.
dirty jabs.
And you know what's cool? A lot of people didn't know each other, but now they're friends.
Yeah.
They encouraged each other throughout this whole thing. They were able to share their story, share their journey.
Some even live in the same
Some people,
state and they don't even know.
They don't even know. Now they know. And it's just like that was really cool to see that bonding happened just through our little workouts. And we're going to keep this going to the point where, I believe this community part, it needs that. And a lot of these athletes that we just experienced watching go through this, we have insight. We have ways that we can help you. We're not going to just have you do our workouts and then send you off and then give you nothing. It's like we have
Pain and nothing in return.
yeah, it's why would have you do the workouts then? The workouts isn't just for our pleasure. It was for you to get better.
You're
And
teaching
that
us
was
as well.
that was the ultimate goal, for you to get better. So we got
To
we were telling
inspire.
them- Yeah, we were telling them to just definitely contact us and hey, how can we do this?
Yeah, and the participants were from around the world.
Yes.
Yeah, that was actually
That was
really
the most
cool,
exciting
man.
part, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like
that
to
was
see
cool.
that the reach
Yeah, that was cool.
was actually extended and it was an actual reach.
And that's
It was
that's
cool.
the cool thing about online comps, is that you get to compete against people around the world. So you actually get to see what fitness is like around the world in a way. It's not just in your local gym where if you're able to win every workout, hey, what happens?
It's not really a good push.
It's not really a push that you want. You want to be able to get pushed up against people that are out there working just as hard as you and you don't know them. And they're all the way across the world. It helps you get better where you're at. That's cool.
What are your closing remarks around the competition, the participants? What do we have to offer? What do we want to tell them about support?
The best influence we can do is we are here to help, right? And just like you said, that's what we said. We're here to help. This competition was the opening of the door.
You have our emails. You have ways
it's
to
like-
get in contact with us.
And this was the best way to show where you're at, when we could see where you're at. This was like a coach analyzing you, getting the chance to say, okay, this is what you're good at. This is what you're not good at. This was a good test in our way of saying. So for someone like a garage athlete that you're at home. How do you get better with fitness at home? A lot of people need help with that. You can't just continuously join a competition and think that that's going to help
make you better. Yeah.
Better. You're going to get better to a certain extent. But how can you train those movements to get better? You still need a programming. You still need a way of knowing, okay, well, this is where I'm at. I'm going to practice this. I'm going to retest this. Am I better than this? You got to see. And that's what we're here for. So we're here now to say, hey, man, lady, this is
person.
this is the best way to you. This is the best way for you to say, okay, what's my workout of the day? And we got it for you. You know, we'll give you a workout of the day. We'll give you something else to do. Give something else to do. Give something else to do. So when the next time you go into a comp, you're not going to. Yeah, you're not going to sit there and say, I should have tried this combination. Just like how we have to test out the workouts to present them to you, you should have a programming that is set up the same exact way that a tester that would host a program competition goes about it. You have to have a programming set up for you in that way. That's how we program. That's why this competition kind of went the way it did. I'm not going to say it's the best competition that's out, but it's a good comp. The workouts that put together
I'm
really
say it's the best competition.
You
won't say it. I'll say it for you.
The way that the workouts are laid out was something that you can say, man, take them. Take these 4 workouts. You got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We usually take off Thursday, and Friday we work out. Well, do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, take off Thursday, and do the 4th one on Friday. See if you beat your scores from the competition that we gave you a workout each week.
Mm-hmm. And you had time to recover.
You had time to recover. You had time to think about it. You had time to analyze. You had time to do it twice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're taking that time away from you. Now just do it in a full week. See how you do. I probably will guarantee you either get a rep better. You might stay around the same where you're at. You might, but a lot of you will PR that
You'll
time.
grow and
That
you'll learn
rep.
from it.
A lot of people will.
Guaranteed.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, all right, well then come to me next week, right? We got another setup of workouts. But they look the same. They pretty much are the same. But see the difference in them? The time is different. The rep count might be a little different. This is a little different in it, but try it. It's going to be different. You're not going to get the same time, the same right, everything. That's going to be different. But if we give that same first week back to you, that competition week, if we give that back to you 6 weeks down the line, and you only touched it that one time, you didn't touch these workouts again for 6 weeks, and we give it back to you, I guarantee you, you'll be better. And that's the message that we would send to these athletes. This is the way of getting better. You know, Body Box is that. Body Box is the way of seeing progress, knowing there's progress. We don't just give you a bunch of things that just pop up on the table and just say, hey, just do this, and then you don't see that again for a while.
Thought process behind it.
Yeah, it's a different thought process.
Trial and error.
You gotta be able to fail, and you gotta be able to see what these things feel like. You know, a lot of athletes in these videos showed their true self in the gym. You're gonna have some good days. You're gonna have some bad days. And when you have those bad days, how do you react off of it? You know, are you letting the workout just take you out and you're just in it, just be in it? Or are in that moment when you don't want to be in the gym, are you pushing that mental capacity to say, let me figure out how I can make this easier right now to get through this? Those are the ones that succeed. But those are the way that the programming helps you. We put you in those spots to be that way. Just like you were in this comp. A lot of people didn't try all these combinations. We saw that. You need more workouts like that. That's how you get better.
Now, there are some who did participate in this competition, but their goal may not be competitions. It's just to attain a strong level of fitness.
Same message. Really same message, man. It's just sitting there just saying to yourself, and this is the part where, when you brought it up earlier, you got to know yourself. Once you come into the gym and you say to yourself, hey, I'm only here for this purpose, stick to that. Grow with that. that might get more. It might surpass what you thought. You might end up saying, "Oh, let me just jump into this pool of competition."
Mm-hmm.
You might not. You might say, "Hey, man, I'm in the best shape of my life, and I like being here. I do a workout. Some people finish in 9 minutes. I finish in 30. But my level of fitness and where I'm at in my life is the best I've ever been." I'm gonna tell you then, hey, you are doing it the right way. Go through it. Keep doing this. Don't stop. The consistency is where it's at. Don't stop. This person can move really well in the movement. I mean, to the best of the best of the best. You move like them, but you don't want to push it. No. There's nothing wrong with that. Your level of fitness is there, man. Woman, I'm sorry, but your level of fitness is there. Your level of fitness is there. Just keep pushing. Don't stop. Don't let nothing. Your ceiling is not there. You don't have a ceiling. You know, you're gonna have fun with this whole fitness thing. It's fun.
Mm-hmm. It's a learning process.
Now, for the ones that want to compete, same mentality. Go in there and do what you got to do. Get better. But your mentality is gonna make you say, "Well, I'm in here for this purpose." Same message.
All right. Well, we want to give a shout out to the people who performed in adverse weather conditions.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Below 3. Yo, I saw mats lifting up from wind, which was like,
that was something.
like, ew.
Yeah, that was something.
What are you working out?
That's a commitment right there.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Working out in the dark with the light of a phone.
For real.
Nuts.
For real, but that's what you
That's
gotta,
the fun part.
Yeah, that's the fun part. That's where you gotta love fitness and you gotta love sports and you gotta love that. Where the mentality will say, we can do this. We can do this no matter what the conditions are. We can do this.
Yes, you can.
We had
Always
a guy.
possible.
We had a guy running up and down stairs in the middle of a workout.
Yo.
And his piece of, like he was doing a jump rope, his piece of board.
It was the first workout.
Yeah, piece of board was this big.
He ran down like about 10 to 12 steps, did his pull-ups, came back up those steps, did his double unders, went back down every single time.
And he beat people that
Yeah.
didn't have to do all that.
That
had
transition was from here.
They
to
were
here.
in a gym, a full blown out gym. He beat y'all.
Craziness.
Some of you guys got beat by a man that had to run up and down some stairs, and we didn't write that in the workout. You know what I'm saying?
I thought about it.
Like at that point, like, man, he made the workout harder.
Who got stairs?
Oh man.
Find a building,
Yeah,
run
for
up
real.
it, come back out.
We truly appreciate
Yeah,
that
for
type
real.
of participation.
Yeah,
for
I
real.
mean,
That-
we're grateful.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We had some really cool people.
I've been on the edge of my seat screaming at you
Mm-hmm.
to move, to pick it up, keep pushing.
Yeah, that was great.
No, you can't hear me.
Okay, and we want to give a shout out to also our sponsors.
Okay, Game Face Wipes.
Yep, Game Face Wipes. Born Primitive.
Born Primitive, waterproof for letting us
Yep, Wildproof.
host on their show.
Yep, and Competition Corner.
Yeah.
All of them. I mean,
I don't know whether sponsors is the right word, but
yeah, I mean, it was
they
definitely
collaborated
it was
with
definitely a
us.
collaboration with all of them. Wildproof. I mean, I use it all the time. I love the app. To me, it's one of the best out there for as far as the timer, as far as the being able to video record my workouts and being able to review it afterwards. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Born Primitive, such a great product as far as with the gear, t-shirts. I mean, their message, you know, how they push. It's like how we always talk about the mentality has to be strong and you gotta want it. So, and it's driven. They're a driven company, and they show that within their advertisements and everything that they push, and the product is awesome. Competition Corner, I think, is one of the coolest things ever created as far as giving the home base for hosting a comp, for joining a comp.
I've been using that one for a couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, Competition Corner helped me out a lot, you know, with joining comps. And that was awesome. I mean, I got the experience of actually competing outside of my comfort zone in my own state.
Yeah.
And it was through the Competition Corner. And then Game Face Wipes. Game Face Wipes was awesome. Game Face Wipes to me is like a thing you need in every gym bag. There's a piece that is like your belt, like your weightlifting shoes. It's just like your extra t-shirt that you need to change.
Gonna be
afterwards.
funky.
Yeah, you need game face wipes in your bag. Is everything. I mean, they have the fact that you can have the cooling wipe, so you know it helps you rejuvenate. Then you got the deodorizing wipes where you might be a little funky, like you said. You want to wipe down a little bit. Then you definitely got the ones that should be like everywhere.
In everybody's bag and
it's the antibacterial ones, especially
everywhere.
what we're going through now. You know, and they are a great company. So definitely shout out to Game Face Wipes for everything. We will.
And some of you will be receiving these as prizes for the competition.
Yeah, that's another thing we want to say, man. We really do appreciate everyone in this, and we want to show our gratitude. That's why we do the whole highlights video, because it's like, even though you might not have won that workout, you should be highlighted in a way, and that's what we are here for too, as far as showing our athletes and our competitors that, hey man, you will have a home base where, hey, CrossFit and all these other things, they promote athletes. Well, you got a home to. And that's here. That's gonna be where we gonna be promoting you, even if we ain't got a comp going right now. We'll promote you. Tag us. It's like, do the workouts. We're gonna be putting out workouts all the time.
We try to drop workouts on Thursdays.
Yeah, it's gonna be, we'll try to, do it where it's like we keep this train going. We need to keep this community building going. We need to keep this competitive spirit going, because that's where we're at. We need to be able to help everyone get better in this. And this competition showed that there's an avenue for it. So yeah.
Again, we say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to everyone participating.
Helping us get this going.
Staff.
We really do thank everyone and everything involved. Everybody involved. This was awesome. And man, we're definitely not gonna be the last one.
No. It was the first of many. First of many.
So enjoy the rest of your holiday season. You will be hearing from us. And
you'll be seeing
you
us
keep
often.
in touch.
Yes, please. Like, share, and hit the subscribe button. I always wanted to say that.